Alright, what's happening, everybody? It's Subaman23 here. I wanted to, aka Eli, I wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on with my 2017 STI. In the previous video, I was going over the fact that I'm upgrading my fuel system with dash 6 braided line and IAG V2 or V3 fuel rails with ID 1300 cc injectors. And I kind of want to just give you guys the rundown of what's going on. I just actually been waiting on a part for over a week, and it just finally came in today. So once I got that in, I started busting everything out. I was waiting on the Aeromotive A1000 OBR 6 or dash 6 fuel pressure adjustable. This is the Gen 2 model. So I got all that, and I'm getting everything routed up right now. I have the feed lines ran. I'm going to go over here real quick. I'm going to show you what's going on at the moment. I'm starting to slowly piece it together, so don't mind the mess. As of right now, I've been kind of going back and forth on and off with the intake manifold being where it is, taking it on and off for fitment and checking everything to make sure everything's ran properly, nothing's going to get pinched, caught, or anything like that. And while I was in there, I ended up putting the Perrin 2.4-inch turbo inlet on. Got that fitted up, so that was out of the way because I had the intake manifold off. So if you're going to do it, that's the best time you're going to need to do it, especially if you're running with a factory fuel system setup. It's kind of wonky with everything, but it's going to look a lot better now that I'm getting everything cleaned up and organized and situated here. But like I said, it looks kind of like a mess right now, but don't mind it. It's coming back together. So like I said, I have the feed line ran here. It's going to be this black one in my case. The gray one's going to be the return, and then this line here is going to be your evap. I have this feed line ran down to the center underneath the throttle body, where the throttle body is going to be, and it's going to tee off into both front sections of the fuel rails, which you see down there. I kind of have this mocked up for right now. I might plan on making a bracket that'll make it sit in the center, so I kind of gave myself some slack on the fuel lines as far as that goes for the time being. But I have the feed lines ran going to both sides on the fronts of the fuel rails. There's a feed line here, and then back tucked in there, which I'm pointing to here, is another feed line. Like I said, it runs in to the center underneath the manifold and throttle body. It tees off and goes up to the feed line there off the firewall. And then for the fuel pressure regulator, I kind of had to have the fuel pressure regulator to kind of get the rest of this set up. The feed line was pretty straightforward. It was the return lines and the return going back to the firewall line down there that was going to be an issue, because I needed to have that in order to fit everything up. But I got it going. I ran, just for the time being, I ran this over here. I ran that off under the same way as I had the initial feed line. Up, back through, it's kind of hard to see, but it basically runs across and goes over to here to this feed. I do have all these tightened up as I'm going. Kind of make it easier on myself as I'm putting things back together so I don't forget anything. But next I have to run this feed line, which comes off the back of the fuel rail back here, up to this fitting, and then run the vacuum line down to the reference down there. Once I get all that hooked up, I'm going to run the evap line. I haven't decided where I'm going to run the evap line. I kind of have it tucked away right here. I might run it back straight through here like it was before and just hook it up that way. Haven't decided that yet. It was initially on the stock system, it was running through between the runners on the manifold. I might go back to doing that. So it's slowly coming back together. Like I said, it looks like a mess right now with everything apart, but it is coming back together. I have reference photos of the engine bay before it was taken apart. I also have reference videos to go back to kind of, keep myself on track. Because I've never done this before. I've never gotten this in-depth on the motor ever. So seemed kind of challenging at first, but once you start getting into it and start figuring out where everything goes, it's pretty straightforward. I follow a guy on YouTube. His name's Smedia. Smedia, if you're watching this, Tanner. Shout out to you. You've given me the guidance on how to do all this stuff and kind of get me set up. So, yep. So we're getting her cleaned up, getting her organized, getting her back together slowly but surely. I'm hoping I can get this done and finished up here either tonight, by the end of the day today here, or sometime tomorrow afternoon. Just because I want to make sure everything's nice and tidy and back where it goes. And it's definitely going to clear up some engine space because there was all kinds of brackets and unnecessary things from the factory system that just no longer need to be used. So just dealing with what I can and getting her all set up. So one step at a time, get this all finished up, get the rest of it put back together. I will put back the fuel pump relay or fuel pump fuse, start priming it, check for leaks before, and also set my initial pressure, start her up, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to need to top her off with coolant too, because I did lose some coolant. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a rundown. I will give you guys another update when I have one, whether it be getting the rest of it pieced together, or most likely it'll be with everything put back on, and then we'll go from there. So I will catch you guys later, and see you in the next video.